Happy lunch hour, gang. All right, serious question here. How safe is your money? Honestly, okay. Uh, Most of us, not all of us, have a bank account somewhere. Checking account, savings account, CDs, whatever. Okay. How safe is that? Do you know? Okay. Maybe not. I'm going to give you a little factual information maybe you weren't aware of. Okay. In the last 10 years, 13,000 bank branches have been closed. And I'll give you this. In January this year, in 1 week, 41 bank branches were closed. Now, it's not like Wells Fargo went out of business, closed everything, but they are closing bank branches. A lot of people, including me, do most of their banking in online banking. Okay, pay your bills online, your check is direct deposited. You don't have to go to the bank that often, and that is the reason that the banks are giving that they're closing these branches. Okay. Now, mind you, when they close these branches, all those people that work at a branch lose a job. Okay, so again, Joe's great economy, how wonderful that's working. But what happens if your bank branch closes? Where's the next one? Now, maybe you live in a big town and there's 6 branches in your town. Okay, go to another one. May not be as convenient, but you still got it. What if you live out in the sticks like I do, where if you go to the bank, there's one branch, and if you want to go to the next branch, it might be an hour and a half away. All right, so what do you need to do? I don't know. I need to talk to somebody about a problem. Oh, call their customer service line and get somebody in Pakistan who doesn't have a clue how to help you. Maybe you're trying to deposit a check or cash a check or something. Okay? You need to go to a branch for that. Maybe it's not around. But what happens when all these branches keep closing? More and more and more. What happens when the banks altogether say, you know what, we're done? Remember last year, March, April timeframe, where we had 4 banks fail altogether, Silicon Valley Bank being the big one, and the FDIC came and bailed them all out. And, well, we understand that, Oprah has accounts there, so we're going to pay that insurance well over the $250,000, right? Okay. What happens if that happens again? Soon. Real soon. Last year, when all this crap went down with the bank failures, Washington passed the Bank Term Funding Program, which was an emergency loan that the government would give to the FDIC to bail out these banks. Whether you know it or not, that program expires the beginning of March. So if there's another bank failure, which is pretty much inevitable, okay, either Congress comes up with a new program or you're left holding the bag. Now, for some people with even Silicon Valley Bank last year, they were whole, got their money back in a couple of days. Some people had to wait days, weeks, months before they got their money back. Remember, the FDIC has 99 years to make you whole. Okay, I don't see me living to be 156 personally. Okay? Financial collapse is coming. You know it, I know it, and anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together knows it. We're waiting to see how chaotic it's going to be. I've mentioned to you many times about most economists calling for a collapse of the U.S. economy sometime in the second or third quarter this year, conveniently right before the election, which would be conveniently time where Joe could come and say, we need martial law, I'm canceling the election. Not that that's ever happened, but there's a first time for everything. Okay. You know, certainly take a look around at the heroes of Joe Biden, in regards to how to run a country. Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, Pol Pot. He hasn't got to the point of killing his citizens yet. But Hitler, Stalin, Pol Pot, they didn't come in and start killing people immediately upon taking office first. Their economies got crappy, and then they started cutting the people off. Those of you that have been around long enough know when I did the whole story on what the Holodomor was, okay, and Stalin starving his people. This is what's coming when we have no money. When not that you don't have any income, when the money you saved disappears into thin air, and when the money that you might still have might be considered worthless. You hear people over and over and over again talking about the Fed and interest rates and everything. What's the interest rate in Venezuela right now? I mean, hypothetically, let's say you go get a CD in Venezuela. What's it paying you? 500%? Big deal. 5 times 0 is still 0. If your initial principal's worthless, no matter how much interest they give you on it, it's still worthless. Okay? You just have a bigger pile of worthless money. Go back to the Weimar Republic and the famous picture of the wheelbarrow full of money. No, I'm not worried about somebody stealing my money. I'm worried about somebody stealing my wheelbarrow. Okay? That's kind of what's going on. You hear everybody talk about crypto and some sort of CBDC. Still haven't seen it. I've said from the beginning it's never going to happen. All the people said, it's going to start. Remember when we heard it was going to start last July? 9 months ago now. 8 months ago, thereabouts. Still haven't seen it. Okay. It ain't coming. They want stuff like that, but they can't figure out how to do it. The easiest way is to let the whole system collapse. And that way, we instantly wind up into a scenario of haves and have-nots. Okay? This is exactly the feudalistic ideals of these globalists. They want the haves, the World Economic Forum, the liberals who think they're going to be on the top of the food chain, who aren't, okay? And the rest of us, the have-nots. We talk about the depopulation agenda in the world, on how they want to kill off people. This would do it, okay? If there's no medium of exchange, that would do it. You guys have heard me say this too. Everybody talks about barter. Barter's a great idea, and it will happen. But if all you have is beans, and you want bullets, and I've got bullets, but I don't need your beans, you ain't getting my bullets. Okay? There's no commonality to the exchange there. So now you're running around all day long trying to find somebody to trade. Okay? Rather than one person with a universal tool for barter, i.e. a currency. Okay. So what happens? What should you do? And I'm going to go into this again, and we talk about gold and silver because it's the only true money that's out there. Both of them are in decent, I won't say great, places to buy right now when compared to $1. Now, here's the catch. Do you care what it's worth in a way of $1? You do now because we still have dollars to use for exchange. So it's going to cost you a little bit more. I mean, could gold or silver go down a little bit here? Yes. Okay. But if the world blows up tomorrow, or the world blows up on March 11th when this loan program ends for these banks, and you have a gold coin in your hand or a silver coin in your hand and you've got a dollar bill in your hand, this is worth something, this is worth nothing. At this point, do you care what you paid for this? Penny wise and pound foolish. We're not here to play the arbitrage game. We're not here to trade, to day trade gold and silver. Nobody's buying silver at 23 and hoping it goes to 23.50 and oh my God, I'm going to retire. Okay. You hear all these people, oh, gold's going to go to, $50,000. It's 2,000-ish right now. But if the dollar is worthless, who cares if gold goes to $1 million an ounce? $1 million bills that are worthless is still worthless. But that gold or that silver is going to have value. It's the only true currency. I know we talk about gold and silver occasionally, and I just keep watching what's going on economically. Day in and day out, I get a little more worried about the future of our economy. We're adding $1 trillion to the national debt roughly every 4 months now. That's unsustainable. Completely. We can't continue on this path. Dollars are getting more worthless by the day. Everybody can say, oh, gee, but the dollar index is going up. The dollar's getting stronger. No, it's not that the dollar's getting stronger. It's that the rest of the currencies around the world that it's compared to are getting weaker. So it's a false sense of security. All of them are going to collapse. It's just a matter of which one's first and which one's last. I'm secure in my belief that in my lifetime, we will see the complete end to the US dollar. What's going on with the banks right now is enough to tell you you should take it seriously as well. Pinball out.